if it was illegal to say stupid things into a microphone.
Why must you be so stupid?
These guys would be doing life without parole.
Hey, everybody, we're back from prison.
Why do we keep encouraging this kind of behavior? It's the Breaking the Ice podcast with Josh Dolan.
You know, we could, go to jail for this.
Along with Mike Shue and Isaiah Moskahana Bonsa Monablitz Boskowitz, whatever the hell his name is.
My God.
He said, Mike says my tree looks angry. It looks like it's spiked.
It does. It looks spiky.
It's a metal tree, man. That's us. Come on, we're rock guys. Corey Taylor's going to come out and start screaming Duality by Slipknot in the back of my tree. Oh,
Now, is that a real tree?
oh God, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I have
Fuck that
way to
shit.
go.
Fuck that shit.
What,
Why?
fuck real trees?
Yeah, fuck real trees. Fuck
Geez,
that. What a waste of a fucking
You
life.
started this off bitchy.
This is I've had the same
Did we
fake
start?
tree I bought at Spags 20 years ago.
I don't
I
even know
take
what
it out of the
Spags
duffel
is.
bag. I drag it upstairs. I take it out of the duffel bag. I set it up. It looks beautiful every year. It's the
Yeah.
same size. It doesn't shed. I don't have to sit there and water it and watch it slowly die and then burn it at the end of the holiday season or throw it out on the side of the curb to let it die even slower and let dogs pee on its corpse.
Jeff, Shue's having his man period. You'll have to excuse us.
Yeah,
But all
no,
the
it's
stuff that you're trying to avoid with the tree. That's what Christmas is all about.
Fuck.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
Burning
And dying
Killing the tree.
slowly? And
yes.
getting micturated on?
Jeff,
Jeff,
knows.
aren't you so glad you agreed to come back on this mess?
are we live?
Oh God, yes. Oh God, yes.
Wait, did my camera freeze?
I know. We seem to have
I
lost
can get
Jeff.
out of this.
Yeah, I know. Just hit the button. Boop. I'm done with them.
Having trouble with the internet here.
Gosh, that damn Wi-Fi 2020 sucks.
Just gonna.
What's up, Jeff? It's good to see you again, man.
It's
Thanks
good
for
to be
joining us.
seen. My
Yeah.
goodness. Yeah. Happy holidays. You sound like you need some de-scrooging, Mike.
No,
Shue.
no, not at all.
Yeah.
I love Christmas, and it's going to be the best one ever this year because much like Thanksgiving, I'm not going to have to go to my in-laws' place. Yeah, it's usually, it's not a holiday unless somebody ends up crying.
Right, exactly.
Right. But this
Murder.
year, and this is my wife's idea, and I was so very happy and glad that I married her when she brought it up. This is the first time in I think around 30 years I will not be traveling anywhere on Christmas Day.
Perfect.
I will not be getting into the car. I may not even leave the house or put on pants.
Why would you?
So it's going to be my wife, my daughter, and me, and we're just going to stay home. We're going to
And your dog, your new dog baby.
yeah, and the dog, and we're just going to stay home, and we're going to order Chinese food. Like
Yes.
the Jews do for Hanukkah.
Yeah.
So when Christmas comes, they go out for
Jews.
Chinese food, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to be good Jews. We're going to order Chinese food, and then we're going to hang out. And HBO Max has all the Godzilla movies.
Oh my
So
God.
we're going to start working our way through all the Godzilla movies.
Hey,
and
Mike.
yeah.
Mike, I don't mean to play the race card, but isn't all food that you eat Chinese food?
Very good. If I cook it, technically it could be Chinese.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm-
I guess so.
I don't
Just
know.
checking.
Yeah.
You were just checking.
Just to
Yeah.
check. Yeah, I don't know.
There's there's the promo for the show.
Right.
That's great.
You know,
Well, that's
this
my-
year has really made me realize, like you, Shu, I'm not going. It's a very different Christmas this year, and I'm kind of excited about it because there's
Oh.
less running around.
Going
And
nowhere.
2020 just made me realize that, you know what, the Grinch wasn't that bad. He just wanted to live alone with his dog.
He just wants
know,
some quiet
Just
time.
leave him alone. Right.
Leave me alone with you.
I'm totally
shit.
into the Grinch. I love the holidays. I like the eating and the food,
Yeah.
Right.
and getting together with people who don't hold anything, like hold a grudge they've been holding for 20 years because someone may have said something to somebody else about something that doesn't matter, and they're still bringing it up years later because they may or may not have called them fat in 1989. You know, I just
I have a
so,
friend.
you know.
We got to get Lucia back on the show because you need some fucking psychotherapy.
No,
Someone touched you early.
This is all very common stuff. You know, it's
No, but it's
not
coming
the-
out of your mouth right now.
It's,
So
it's the in-laws. They just, you know, they just don't know. It always has to be about the French Canadian. They're over emotional. They're just
Oh,
Yeah.
that's my people. That's my
right.
people.
You know Jeff Belanger, right?
I'm
Yeah.
Belanger today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Courtois.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, say no more, Mike.
Passions. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we can promote this as we have Jeffrey Belanger on the show today.
if we're going the Quebecois, yeah.
I actually said when we had you on this time last year on AAF, I think I said we're gonna have Jeff Belanger on
Because you're a hockey fan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there was a Bruin named Ken
I know.
Belanger, and
Yeah,
that's
from-
just when I see that I say Belanger.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And like she
Because-
was like,
yeah.
I think it's Belanger.
I know what sports you listen to by how my name is pronounced.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
And there's
Is
a
it
famous-
Patrick Roy or Patrick Roy? It's Roy.
All the French Josh knows is from hockey.
No,
Oh,
I
God,
get
yeah.
it. So there was a pretty famous shortstop for the Baltimore Orioles named Mark Belanger. And
yeah.
he was from Pittsfield, Massachusetts. And
No way.
Shit, right on.
yeah, he was big in like the 70s and 80s, and then was in the Players Union. So yeah, that was I'm told like a distant cousin, but yeah, Belanger. But if he played hockey, he would have been Belanger.
Belanger.
Yeah.
We had you on back around Halloween because you were
Yeah.
telling us all the cool stories and things around Halloween. And you said, okay, you guys want to be pussies and start with Halloween because Christmas is really the holiday that's scary as shit.
Total, and I stand by that 100%.
And you're back.
And I'm back. Yeah. So and Mike has the right to be cranky because Halloween is just ghosts, right? Ghosts aren't going to hurt you. It might be a little scary, but Christmas could literally kill you. There are monsters that are out to kill, lethal,
Like that tree. Look at that tree.
die.
Right.
Yeah.
In-law.
Tell us about this stuff. You
Like-
got some serious history with this.
Oh, yes. How was your Krampusnacht?
I don't mean to ruin the surprise, but I did survive my Krampusnacht
Oh, good.
on December 5th. So quick setup. December 6th, the world over, is St. Nicholas Day. That's the day in Europe that St. Nicholas brings the presents. December 5th, though, that belongs to Krampus. Krampus is from German folklore. He's covered in fur. He's got hooves for feet. He's got horns and a long forked tongue. He carries a basket on his back. He's covered in chains. And he comes around on the 5th and he snatches up all the naughty children all over the world, carries them back to his mountain lair, kills them, cooks them, and eats them so they're dead. All the naughty children die
Mhm.
on December 5th. Dead.
Mhm.
Dead.
Mm.
That's it. And then
We're still
December
here.
6th. Yeah, that's right. You survived. So you're probably thinking like, I'm safe. I made it past the 5th. Two problems. There will be another December 5th next year. And Krampus is just one of the lethal monsters you have to worry about. You just survived one. Don't get too cocky.
Isn't there one from Iceland who also takes the kids and puts them into a stew?
The Grilla. The
Oh, the
Grilla.
Grilla. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Krampus, you can survive Krampus by just being a good kid. But Grilla, she doesn't discriminate. Good kid, bad kid, they all taste the same to her. So she's up in the
Oh.
mountains. She comes down. She's got 40 tails. She's like a half troll from the Icelandic mountains. And she comes down on Christmas Eve to cut open the bellies of kids who cry out for meat. So God help you if you're crying out for meat.
For meat, huh?
Meat on
So
Christmas Eve.
if you're a vegetarian child, you're
Should be
safe.
okay. Safer. Much
I was
safer.
going to say, not totally safe, but a little safe. Further down the list of murder.
Yes. Yeah.
So
and
far,
she's-
all of this sounds like Christmas on Schrute Farms.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Dwight would totally dig this.
So guess what? Dwight actually did dig this because on one episode of The Office, Dwight dressed up as the Belschnickel.
Did.
I love the
did.
Belschnickel.
God,
did.
He's one of my favorites. Yeah.
So if Krampus is too much for you and your family, you don't want to put your little 5-year-olds in bed and go, listen, if you survive the night, if Krampus doesn't come and kill you, little Johnny or little whoever, right? Like if you somehow survive the night, then yay. So, but Belschnickel is like Krampus, like Belschnickel doesn't kill you, but he could show up a couple of weeks before Christmas anytime, covered in fur because it means Nicholas and furs, soot all over his face. And what he does is he's got a bunch of sticks in his hands. And like this year, like I could be the Belschnickel of our community, and I might come to your house and I'd say, "Are there any naughty kids?" And you'd say, "Well, little Mike Shue here's been a real bastard this year."
Oh
And
yeah, he has.
Take Mike to the backyard. I would tie him to a tree and I would beat his ass with those sticks. And then Mike can get right in time.
Can
for
we
Christmas.
pay you? Can we pay you to do this?
No, it's free. There's no charge. No
So-
charge for this.
Well, because I usually have to pay for that kind of service.
No, I really like it.
No.
I do it for the joy.
Now,
Oh my
did
God.
this actually happen? Like, did
Yeah.
somebody go through like, where does the Belschnickel? Is that another German thing? Because these things all seem to be like German, Central
Angry
Europe.
Germans.
This is
Yeah.
what happens when Germans are in charge of a holiday. I mean,
Right.
it's
Right.
just-
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And take LSD. Clearly, 40 tails. What are we doing? Jesus.
Yeah. No, but I'll tell you what though, it was a few years ago. I was my PBS series. We found out about this historic home in Niantic, Connecticut called the Smith Harris House.
I saw that. I
Yeah.
saw that.
And
And,
it's-
the guy, you had a guy play the Belschnickel.
Well, he does it there they don't bring in St. Nicholas at Christmas. They bring in Belschnickel. And I'm like,
my
this is
God.
awesome.
Does
So
he
we,
beat the children.
that was the very first question I asked.
Yeah,
And because I'm like, well, and sadly, no, you can't. I guess if you bring your kids to this historic museum, they don't beat your kids for you.
Even
So,
if you sign a waiver saying, "Feel free to beat my child. He's been a complete ass
that could be
all
a
year."
You know what? I'm gonna call them because that's a fundraising idea that could
Right.
eclipse like
Eat
the
your
mass.
kids.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Hashtag take my
pay-
kids.
I
Yeah.
paid like maybe a couple $100
Think,
if it
they'd
goes
make.
to the museum. Yeah, sure.
Oh
or
my,
just
think
send
about
them
it.
to Catholic school, you know. And then,
Yeah. Either
Right.
way. Either
Yeah,
way.
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
Just
No,
hire a priest.
Belschnickel and Sister Mary. Like,
Right.
what are we?
Yeah.
Where are we going? What are
I think
we
it's
doing?
genius. I think it's
So
genius.
was there like a real like? Does this come from like a real thing that happened? Was there
Yeah.
like a dwarf that walked around some village somewhere and beat the kids? That the parents said, "Come in here and beat my child. It's Christmas."
Nope. Full size adult, Mike. Full size adults did
Wow.
this.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah. No, of course. And the thing was, it was each community. Well, Belschnickel especially. Belschnickel is not as like folkloric or mythological as like Krampus. Belschnickel was like literally in your village, Mike. It could be your turn this year.
Oh, that would be so awesome.
Yeah.
Mike's village of Worcester. I'd love
Oh
that.
my
That's
God.
right.
Not that I want to beat any children, but there are some kids, who, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
They.
You know,
remember when you threw a
rough 'em up
snowball
little
at my
bit.
car?
But,
Yeah, you little
you
fuck.
know, they're
Yeah.
riding their bikes through an intersection and in traffic, you know, and you're just like, I'm just gonna hit them.
There's Mike
Yeah.
in the fur coat and the sticks in traffic
Right.
with the kids and bikes, just whipping them. Yeah.
That's
No,
the thing.
it's.
He dressed like a homeless guy. Like he wore a fur coat, but it was like covered in shit, right?
Well, no, it's just a patchwork of fur is
Okay.
Do
basically the yeah.
we
the
have
deal.
pictures of these things? Can we
Yeah,
see?
yeah,
there's tons
coming
of
right
them,
up,
man.
coming right
Oh
up.
my
I'm working
God.
on it.
Josh made you a co-host on this thing because he said
All right.
he comes prepared with pictures and things.
I think I forgot to do that. Hold on.
Okay,
That's shocking.
all
Okay,
right,
there we go.
All right, here we go.
Busy
So,
wearing your pajamas.
It's not. This is.
They look like
What the
pajamas.
hell is that?
Okay,
So-
what's this?
so
Oh,
there's
here we
See,
go.
look at
so
that.
there's the
Wow.
Belschnickel, and then yeah. So and then he was
He looks pissed.
He
depicted
looks
it.
high.
He does
Yeah.
it. Maybe he looks like he's smiling. So those are the sticks he beats your kids with?
Yeah, and look at this is my favorite postcard ever. Like instead of Christmas cards, I send this.
Oh
my
yeah. Oh, look at that. His feet aren't
my
even touching
goodness.
the ground.
Yeah,
He is beating the shit out of that child.
yeah.
You know what? He kind of looks like Santa.
He does. He's like a Santa with an anger problem.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a red nose because he's shit faced.
He's like, I've been building toys for the last 11 months. Don't talk back to me, you little fuck. Who the
There you
What
go.
is
Yeah.
that? Is that from the PBS special?
That's Dwight Schrute. That's the
Oh,
office.
that is. Oh
That's
my
Dunder
God.
Mifflin.
Yeah, son.
Oh my
that's
God.
so awesome.
Look at him.
Yeah.
He looks
Dude,
like
this
Ted
is-
Nugent circa 1977,
Yeah, there's something in there.
like the Intensities in 10 Cities tour.
Oh my God.
Look at that belt.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Dude fucking rocked.
Dude, that is a serious reference. And only a show like The Office would yank that reference. That is quality.
Yes, right.
I think I've seen him on Boston Common.
I
You
love that
buy-
picture. That could
yeah.
be my next tattoo, that kid being tied to the tree like that.
I'll send
I
it
got,
to you.
I got a
I'll be glad to.
Krampus right here. I got my
What?
Krampus right here.
Yeah, love that.
Okay.
I love that.
I could put the Belschnickel beating a child under
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So the thing is, like, so all this stuff was pushed into the background around 1931. specifically. All these monsters, all the dark, scary stuff was pushed back because America was in a depression. The whole world was an economic depression. And in 1931, the Coca-Cola company said, let's make Santa sell Coke. And it was a huge, huge marketing campaign.
Can you say that again? Well, that's going to be our promo.
Let's make Santa sell Coke. And then
Boom.
Coca-Cola.
Right.
You have to clarify, otherwise you just said Santa sells cocaine.
Also, I think in 1931, Germany kind of just took a different path a little bit too. So
Right. So there it is.
Oh,
right.
Yeah,
So
look at that.
yeah. It's so what happened was it worked, right? The only way to get out of an economic depression or recession is to spend money. That's it. There's no other way. And so it worked for Coca-Cola. And by the following year, all kinds of other businesses were like, wait a minute, Coca-Cola doesn't own Santa. We could use Santa. And Macy's and all these companies said, let's use Santa to sell stuff. And then they realized they could get into the black through Christmas. They turned it into a total consumer holiday. All the monsters got pushed to the back. And suddenly it was just about like a lot of pressure, right? And a lot of spending and a lot of like, it's just joy and love and happiness. But that's not the complete picture of the holiday at all. We need those monsters. And what I love is that they're coming back. And the proof is like, look, I know we're talking about them today. Dwight Schrute was Belschnickel on The Office. Krampus had his own movie, you know, like, I mean, like they're coming back. Popular culture is a reflection of us, not the other way. And
we need to push this out there in every direction. I mean, nothing wrong with Santa. He's a good egg, but you know what? Take a couple of years off. Bring the Belschnickel out.
Yeah. I'm all for bringing Belschnickel out. Absolutely. I'm in. Every town should have a lottery.
I noticed when you go into CVS to buy, you know, like this stupid hat that I'm wearing, I don't see any Belschnickel outfits. Right. There needs to be like a Belschnickel store or somewhere where I can
a fur vest and a huge belt.
Right. And I just want that group of sticks to buy. It's like, how come I can't buy that when I buy this stupid hat that I'm wearing?
You know, all the Krampus and the Belschnickel and to some degree Santa.
Yeah.
You know, and then you look at like Elf on the Shelf and stuff. This was all either it was real, like the Belschnickel, or it was made up to control people, right?
Or scare the shit out of them.
Well, so no, okay. So you got to remember, this whole holiday is centered on the winter solstice. That's what it's all about. The solstice. It's the scariest time of the year when you live in northern climates, right? You wonder, is the sun even going to come back? If you live far enough north, the sun doesn't even come up anymore, right? It's gone. And you're scared. You're scared. Like, do I have enough food to survive the winter? Do I have enough meat? Will my roof hold up to the snow? Like, it's a frightening time of year. And so when we are pushed into a corner out of raw fear, we go in one of two directions, right? We either cower in the corner and pray for deliverance, or quite often we go the other way and we party. We party hard. And that's how this was born, right? Saturnalia, Yule, right? Like Christmas, like it was a party because like if we bond, if goodwill toward men, we give each other gifts, even if we don't like each other that much, Mike would give each other gifts. Cause I know if my roof collapses on me, be like, hey, shoot, can I stay with you this winter? My roof collapsed.
or even it's like, hey, we're going to drink now because, you know, I might not make it through the winter. Like don't forget, long ago, winter meant that some people weren't going to make it to spring.
That's exactly right.
Like guaranteed. You're like the Pilgrims. You know, winter sets in. They know they're going to lose like a couple dozen people.
That's exactly right.
Definitely one child at least.
At
one
least
kid gets beat to death up against a tree.
Right.
Oh, little too much with the Belschnickel. And so think about it though. Right?
Shocking.
Little too. So in Iceland especially, right? So if you get caught in a snowstorm, you could die. Hundreds of years ago, like you could die today if you get caught in a snowstorm. But if you get caught in a snowstorm in the mountains where the gorilla lives, like that is lethal. And so these stories, of course you teach your children, oh, in the mountains, that's where this monster lives that will cut your belly open and eat you.
Jesus Christ.
You don't want your kids wandering in the mountains, especially in winter. It could save their lives. If you are petrified of this place that's dangerous anyway, then there's a chance to keep your children safe. These monsters all serve a role. They all have a purpose. They all speak to something. And shoot, Krampus, he goes back thousands of years. I mean, come on, like Pan, the half man, half goat, like it's which turned into the devil character, which turned into Krampus. Like he's been around for thousands of years, just under different names and purposes. But we need that we get the word panic from Pan. We need the monster. we need the darkness to balance this stuff out. It's just
Oh, the
how it
boogeyman.
is.
It's anything of the boogeyman theory with a kid. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't want to sleep with the light out because the boogeyman will get you.
But the coal in the stocking just isn't cutting it anymore, so we got to bring the monsters back.
Right.
Well, that was the Belschnickel too. He
Yeah.
was the guy that handed out coal, right?
Sure, and his face was covered in coal, like he was covered in soot
Yeah.
and things like that. So,
He was
but-
basically like a homeless guy beating your kids with a stick.
right, kind of like
much.
now, same thing.
And wasting fossil fuels.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So these things originated from Worcester, actually. A homeless guy just kicking the shit out of you with sticks.
Right. He's on the corner of Chandler and Park, and he's like, "Is your child been good this year? Give me $2. I'll beat that kid for you." You know.
It's a deal.
And
I
you
think
think
it's a
it came from Worcester, or do we go deeper into Springfield, Mass?
Sounds
Oh.
more like a Springfield character.
Yeah, Springfield's got some areas.
Yeah.
So Jeff, Iceland also. I remember. I think when you were on AAF talking about this with us, wasn't there one that like punished the children for not having clean clothes?
Oh, that would be the Yule Cat.
Yeah,
And it's-
right. It was a cat.
And-
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's not just the children, by the way. That is anybody. So in Iceland, the Yule Cat comes. You're expected to work hard all year so you can afford new clothes for your friends and family and for yourself. And you lay them out as an offering to the Yule Cat. And on Christmas Day, if you don't have new clothes, the Yule Cat turns lethal and kills you.
What?
Yeah.
Did
you
the
don't
Yule
have to
Cat
do
work
clothes.
for fucking
Yeah.
Tide?
Yeah. You don't
Pretty
have new
much.
clothes. The Yule
Yeah.
Cat was a lobbyist for the textile industry.
Jesus Christ. Was it an actual cat?
Well, it's this, come on, it's a story, but at the same time, it's a story that helps the Icelandic economy, right? So
Right.
yes, we
Buy
need
more
to,
clothes and keep them clean.
you have to spend money. You have to spend money at this holiday or else. And it's just another reminder, work hard, buy clothes, keep your, and you're going to need warm clothes for the winter anyway. So
And you know this makes sense because you're a kid at Christmas and you open a present and it's like, hey, I got socks.
yeah,
It's like, oh,
Right.
socks. And it's like, good thing you got socks, man, or that cat's gonna kill you.
well,
know,
not
The
only
Yule
that,
Cat's going to rip your
Right.
toes
Yeah.
off.
So you got to be
Saved
happy.
your
Oh,
life.
I got underwear. Wow,
Yeah.
that sucks. No, it doesn't. You're gonna live. You're gonna live because you have clean underwear.
Why did you
Shut
get
the fuck
Daddy the
up.
tie? Because he wants to fucking hang himself.
Right.
Daddy doesn't have a job.
okay,
Corona
listen,
took Daddy's job.
you guys may not know that this thing exists. And this year it did not because of coronavirus. But next year, if the world is back to some semblance of normal, you all need to do a live podcast, don't walk, to the New England Krampus Society's Krampus Ball.
Yes.
I remember seeing that on that
Yes.
episode.
Yeah.
Oh
that's
my God, I
that's
would do that in a
freak show,
minute.
man.
You ready? You want pictures? Do you want to see it?
Yeah,
So,
that'd be
awesome.
awesome.
all right. So they put on this thing every year, and I got to go to the one in Providence, and everybody was dressed as Krampus, right? It was amazing. Look
Oh my
at
God, look at
Oh,
you.
wow.
my sweater is amazing. That's an amazing sweater. So these people put a lot of effort into their Krampus
It looks
costume.
like Mike's shoe. Look at
Look
Jesus
at that. Oh my
Christ.
God.
Yeah,
Jeez.
right. So
Wait, we should have been able to do this because they're all wearing masks.
This actually looks like a meeting in the basement of the White House.
Right?
It's the Illuminati meeting.
Trump is murdering
This
kids
is
that
the
don't pay their
Illuminati.
taxes.
Look, the
I-
Pope is there.
Right?
Nope.
All the Illuminati.
That's
Oh
Saint
my God,
Nicholas.
what is?
that's Saint Nicholas. They
Oh,
work.
okay.
Look at
Oh
they
my
work
God.
together. Yeah,
Is that
and
the
then
Krampus?
yeah, Krampus and Saint Nicholas. They work together. Okay, ready
my
for the
God.
best part? You guys ready for? Let me just.
Yeah,
like,
That's
I,
great.
I'm gonna seal this thing now. You know what else showed up? We were there. We were filming. We were hanging out with all these Krampuses and stuff. And then someone brought in, no joke, a live goat.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
God.
Oh, look at that. Is that
Yeah.
that couple's goat?
I don't know. It's just but I
Look
know
at that woman's tattoos. She is a freak.
Now,
at that
I'm
goat's
guessing that
face.
was sacrificed.
No, look at the goat. No, Josh, look at the goat's face. That goat is tired of being fucked by that guy.
Oh my God.
Look at the goat's face. He's like, please help me. Just
Yeah.
Are they
kill me."
Greek?
It was a cry for help. And I just was
Turn
like,
me in
oh,
the
hold
mud.
still. Let me click that
Right.
picture. That's good.
Oh
Hold
my
that.
God.
Oh, this is
She's
so
got some
great.
sick pagan ink right on her
Look
chest
at
there.
her,
Wow.
man.
Yeah. So what are you guys doing next Christmas? You're going to the Krampus.
I'm going
ball,
to this
You're
thing.
going to
Oh
the
my
Krampus. ball.
God.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
getting
my
a
God.
leather zipper mask and I'm going to go.
Why
to the
don't
Krampus
we
ball.
do this show from there and you
Oh my-
co-host with us
I'm,
if
I'm
you're
in.
available?
That'd be awesome.
I'm in. It was a great time, and these people love this stuff. It's just so my point is though, like we love the dark side of things. We can't help it. And we like, at Halloween, you dress up as the things you fear, and at Christmas.
A dirty nurse?
Yeah. And that I have that costume.
Not afraid of that.
No, that's
I'm
not
afraid
weird.
of it because you can't find a vein.
I'll be afraid of it for $200. Absolutely.
How much to fuck the goat? Anyway, sorry, Jeff.
My price or your price? I'm kind of a big deal. Isaiah, I get the perks.
Community,
I get the perks,
Another amazing promo for Breaking the Ice podcast.
Right?
You're just rolling them out, kid. We don't have to do any work. It's all you.
I didn't think my career would end today, but good a day is
It's not going to end. It's already big.
This is just
Something
expanding. Yeah.
bigger's going to happen.
Yeah.
God.
Joe Rogan's going to call you next going, what's the goat thing?
What's
what are
the
we doing?
goat? Yeah, the goat. I love it.
Did you say that was downstairs at the White House? Who said that? That's what they'll fucking hear. Use that as the promo. We'll be all done.
Yeah.
Now Hillary Clinton's involved, and then it's just a whole thing.
I think she was that Hillary with the pay? I knew it. Fucking email slut.
I wish. So
That's
basically,
all. All we do with politics is just a couple of things where we call one another ass hats, and then we're done.
Sure.
the fear hasn't gone out of Christmas this
Nope.
year. Now it's totally like a fear of, not getting the right gift.
Yep.
Right.
Well,
Or
so
the fear of not.
Or the fear of getting
missing-
corona when you go to CVS and everybody's acting fucking
right.
stupid just to buy one of these.
Or fear of
Just
missing
experience
out
that.
on the company Christmas party or something like that.
That's the good part about it. There are no company Christmas parties this year, and those things are fucking awful.
They are awful. That is
Awful.
definitely a plus this year. But I think
Awful.
so.
Win.
There's so much pressure on this day. We have sold it as like it's got to be perfect from morning till night, and everything's got to be great. Families in town, that's stressful. Your kids are like, I didn't want socks, and they're like, oh no, and now I'm sad. And why am I sad? I shouldn't be sad. And it's just. But when you invite these monsters back into your lives, it's a reminder. Hey, it
Keeps people in check.
Totally.
Oh my
agree.
God, I
That's
love
what
this.
I'm saying.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, Elf on the Shelf, that's the Tomten from Sweden, right? Like it's that thing's been around forever. And Krampus.
That thing's creepy. That
Yeah.
shit's creepy.
It's,
And you move it around. Like, what the
Oh wait,
fuck
that's
are you-
so. Yeah, that thing. So the Swedish one.
Is that it?
That's the Tomten. That's the original.
Now, doesn't he eat kids or something or skin them?
You are all about eating kids, Mike Shue, and I have
No,
concerns.
I'm not. It's the
No.
Icelandic and the Germans.
Listen.
They're all about eating the children. It seems to be a common theme that the children get put into some kind of stew.
Slice them open. It was
know?
all of this bullshit was to keep the kids to get the kids to behave themselves.
And
Right?
Gretel,
Stay out of the woods, stop eating meat, shut the fuck up, and put some clothes on. It's cold.
So Josh kind of nailed it. It's
Merry Christmas.
the Grimm tales are if you read the original Brothers Grimm tales, Cinderella, the stepsisters, in the Disney movie, they try to wedge their foot into the glass slipper. In the original Brothers Grimm version, one stepsister cuts her toes off and fills the glass slipper with blood, trying to squeeze into it. The other cuts her heel off, also filling it with blood. Like that's the originals. And we just,
Oh my God, that's prophecy right there, because people are literally doing that to themselves today to fit into things.
that's right.
Seriously,
Yeah.
they're spending thousands of dollars either making things bigger or smaller to fit into certain things.
Right.
And think about this. So back then, if you read that story 150 years ago and you read about a girl cutting her toes off to try to get the glass slipper to try to get the guy, you're like, that's insanity. When you watch the Disney version and you just see them trying to squeeze it in, it's not nearly as like, you're like, it doesn't have the impact. And
It
so,
softened it up.
yeah, Grimm knew it's got to be brutal. It's got to be lethal. That's going to get your attention, and kids can actually handle it. I'm a big believer that we need these monsters for our kids. Like, I mean, it's literally, I truly believe that in my hearts of hearts. Like, you bring these monsters back because they need to know there's dark, scary things out there. You're safe inside. You're safe with mom and dad, but it can be very scary. And I'm not saying like, totally, put our kids into a place where they're going to need therapy forever. I mean, they're going to need that anyway. But
Yeah.
Kind of like quarantine from the coronavirus. Everyone's all
Right,
fucked
yeah.
up from it.
Remote
Yeah.
learning. Yeah.
we've
Jesus
been left
Christ.
alone with our thoughts too long.
Right. I need to go outside.
Yeah. And that's what
I would
winter
absolutely
was.
do that. Commit, you'll do it. You'll do the show with us and we'll go to that ball. That would be amazing.
Totally. Oh, I would.
Oh my
it was
God.
so much fun. Like I would go anyway. Like it was.
And it was in Providence.
last year. 2 years ago, it was in Providence. It's usually around Providence, but yeah,
Moves
it's,
around.
Yeah, it's wherever they can get a venue, and it's a great group, and the effort they put into their costumes and stuff. I mean, it's cosplay for Christmas. Like, what could be better, you know?
Hey, Jeff,
Awesome.
we were talking about trees earlier and the real
Yes.
tree, fake tree stuff. Were you telling us last time when you were in AF last year that the strung popcorn that they put on trees comes from entrails?
That was me. That was
Yes.
me. Yeah.
Do I have popcorn on here?
Wait, before I answer that, Shu, are you talking to someone else that talks about this kind of crap, like putting entrails on trees?
Well,
Because I should hang out with that person.
yeah, well, I don't know. It may have come up in conversation somewhere.
Mike does resurge big
At the
time before guests
supermarket.
come on this show.
You know, or something
Fair
like
enough,
that.
fair
But I'm
enough.
pretty sure I heard that from you first.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
So the Nordic people that celebrate Yule, they look out at the winter landscape and they see that winter kills everything. Another reason to be afraid, right? The grass is dead, the flowers are dead, the trees lose their trees, they lose their leaves, they die. The lakes, the ponds, they freeze solid. Everything is dead except the evergreen. The evergreen must be stronger than winter. So they cut those branches down. They put them over the doors, over the windows. So the prickly needles, clearly imbibed with magic, would keep out the bad spirits. The trees they don't cut down, when they managed to get a kill like a deer or whatever, they would rip the entrails out and drape them around the tree as this kind of offering. And that when we lay garland around our tree, I mean, that's what we're talking about, right? We're just,
Oh my God, it looks like entrails.
that's what I'm saying. Cranberries.
You look like
popcorn.
Rick Grimes on the fucking Walking Dead episode 1 when they had to walk through the crowd.
Yes.
Jesus
Yes.
Christ. This
guys-
holiday blows Halloween away.
That's what I'm saying.
If you've got a real tree and it's not draped in entrails, then you're really not celebrating Christmas.
Preach.
So so I should go outside. Let me just see if I get this right. You want me to go outside, cut up some kids?
No, just a
Put
deer.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
make
Cut
it
up a
weird.
deer.
Do they
Goat
have
or
any deer in
something?
Marblehead?
I'll find a cat.
No
I got 2
animal.
upstairs. I can't hurt Cheddar and Speedy. Come on now.
That's amazing. That's because my great grandfather, who was from Hungary,
Yep.
would hang homemade sausages off his tree. And I
Really?
think that's probably where that comes. I'm guessing that's where that comes from.
It's an offering. Yeah, totally.
I would love that because you could just be like a little snack.
Oh
every now
yeah,
and
it
then.
was like the homemade smoke, like a little. They were like mini kielbases.
Yeah.
Oh,
And he just
if you could
he'd
put
hang
all
a
the
few on-
crackers.
he'd make them himself, and he'd hang a few on the tree, and then
Right.
like candy canes. Not a lot,
Oh my
but
God.
so
And
that's
then
probably where
America
it came
ruined
from.
it, and we put candy canes on.
I'm
I know,
sure
really,
it
we
is.
could have had a savory
Candy
kielbasa.
canes must have a history, Jeff,
Yeah, is there any like strange murderous history?
because
on candy canes?
it's got red going through it.
If
Let's
you're
make
asking,
something up now.
if you're asking the Catholic boy, Jeff, the priest used to tell us it was the staff of Jesus and the blood
Right,
of
and put
Christ and the
staff
red and
in
white.
your mouth.
Is that while they were
Catholicism.
beating and fucking the
You fell
kids
for that too?
too much?
Little.
Sorry.
I think that's the line. Killing kids, fine, but yeah, no. So yeah, I mean,
Wow.
candy canes became more of like a religious symbol. But the funny thing is, like this holiday, like Jesus has so little to do with Christmas. It's insane.
Right.
He got corona. He's out.
I can promise you he wasn't born December 25th. And that's only if you believe the Bible, right? I mean, the Bible says when he was born, shepherds were living out in the fields with their flock by night. And there's 3 seasons of the year they do that in Bethlehem: spring, summer, and fall. The only one you can rule out is winter. So but that's fine. I mean, we don't have to, I'm not disparaging Christianity or anything like that. I'm just
Yeah, you
saying
are. That's okay.
a little bit. So
Promo.
they,
It's all made
you know,
up.
You're just debunking Christmas. That's all,
You
birth
are
of Christ.
all full
No
of
big
shit.
deal.
Go with the guy with the sticks.
No
a
big
little
deal.
bit, a
You
little
just
bit.
Belschnickled the Christmas legend. That's
a
all.
little. So they're trying to compete with like Saturnalia and Yule and these huge pagan festivals. They needed something to sanctify it. And so, and by the way, Jesus was born a commoner. You don't keep track of commoners' birthdays, but when the Roman emperor was trying to sell Jesus to the masses under one religion, he had to be a king of kings. And so he added 2 days of partying to Saturnalia. You get your 17th to the 23rd, 24th Christmas Eve, 25th Christmas Day. Now you have 8 days to party. And that's something that the Romans could get on board with.
You know what, Isaiah? You should take a lesson from that. That is called genius marketing
I like that.
right there.
Right.
I like
Yeah.
it.
That is excellent marketing.
Oh, my brain's cranking. I'm going to start lying to
Right.
people about everything. They wouldn't know the difference.
You could add 2 days to like the 4th of July or something like that. If
Right.
you can add some more days onto another holiday.
Memorial Day weekend. It's a week now. Fuck it.
Right. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. Just extend it like they did. That's fantastic.
Hey, listen, look, everything you've said, it was everybody's ploy to get attention, whether the pagans were doing it over here. And then, back in 1931, you said that, Coca-Cola used Santa. I think the commercialization of Christmas has won the battle. I'm a big fan of bringing back these characters you're talking about.
Isaiah won the battle, not the war, right?
Oh,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And these creatures are making a comeback. And shoot, you guys all have Netflix, right?
Oh yeah.
So this just came out. Look at me screen sharing. So
I love this shit. This is good. This is like a lesson right here.
Christmas Chronicles 2 came out like 2-3 weeks ago, right on Netflix.
The first one was great.
The villain of Christmas Chronicle 2, the villain is this kid called Belschnickel, and the cat called Yule Cat.
No way.
Wait. Is that Belschnickel in the leather vest and hoodie?
Yes, correct.
Oh, that Belschnickel's awesome. That Belschnickel's like every WAF P1 right there.
Totally. That kid lives in Gardner and loves AAF.
Yes, he does.
Right?
He totally lives in Gardner.
Right?
That's probably true.
Which one of you is Mike Shue? Are you Mike Shue?
Are you Shue? You don't play enough Pantera, dick.
Which one of you is fucking Diane?
I'm going to beat you with several sticks.
Auburn. You either live in Gardner or Auburn. Oh my God. So I didn't see the first one. What was the first one? Was that good?
Actually, the first one had a reference to Ghost Adventures in it, which was really funny.
Okay.
Because that's my day job. If I could plug my time.
Yeah, I love the first one.
Anything.
Kurt Russell's a great Santa.
Yeah, totally.
You know what, actually, he's not even Santa. You know who he is? He's Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China, dressed up like Santa.
Yeah.
It's like the sleigh is his Pork Chop Express. And he's totally got that whole like John Wayne kind of tough guy thing going.
And
Big boy
Santa is
reference.
sick and tired of hearing what a great hockey team the Soviets have.
Right, exactly. Gonna give that miracle speech every Christmas.
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh my God, that's a great movie.
Jeff, we know what your day job is, but what is your day job?
So I'm the writer and researcher for Ghost Adventures on the Travel Channel. So I've been doing that for 12 years, which is crazy. But
congrats.
Yeah, no, thanks. We just got renewed another year. And so, I write books and stuff like that. Between everything, it's a living. But yeah, so in the first Christmas Chronicles, there was a reference to Ghost Adventures when they were leaving out flour on the ground to try to catch the footprints of Santa Claus. And it was like like a little ghost hunt thing. It was kind of cool. It's kind of neat to be like, hey, I work on that show. That's my job. So,
that's really cool.
Yeah.
And your calendar was kind of a savior in the early days of the pandemic for my family and I, because it gave us some destinations for long, socially distanced driving to find some of the places that are featured in your calendar.
Oh, shucks. Thanks,
every
Mike.
year. So
shucks, you should have sent them.
Didn't see any ghosts or any goblins or anything, but we had fun, doing the road trips and going and taking lots of pictures and stuff. So
to me, that's what it's about. Like, I really think these stories like beg to be explored. However you want to explore them, whether it's like through your own research or going out in the town or going to some festival in Providence, whatever it is, like you got to ask these questions and celebrate the whole picture, right? The whole, like, don't just look at like the Hallmark version. Look at Jeff's version too. It's like, come on, man, let's get the complete picture. It means something, so when I think we had you on, and then afterwards, my wife and I, because it's like this whole time you travel in your own town, right? Sure.
So we did some cool things in the town I live in. We went to like the Lee Mansion. We did a cemetery tour with somebody from the local museum. I mean, these people just know their shit, and they can tell some amazing. I mean, Marblehead is a really old town that has some nautical history and war history, and you just don't think about it. It's like living around and near Boston, how much time do we spend flying all these other places, right? It's like spend the time and go into like the Bell in Hand restaurant. I mean, that's like the oldest restaurant in the country. Right. And it's right there at Faneuil Hall. And I never thought to go in, but it's like, go and visit things in your own backyard and learn the history. It's really, we did that. We took your advice after you were on the show last time and really learned some cool stuff.
I had no idea anyone was listening to me.
I once saw two college girls outside of the Bell in Hand. One was riding the other like a donkey.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Wasn't scary though. It was actually kind of funny.
Now I love going down there in the restaurant right next to it, the Point, and just feeling like you're drinking where Ben Franklin could have drank, and then you see that.
Yes, and then you see that, and you're like, well, just adding to the history. That's right.
And by the way, Ben Franklin would have been into that.
Oh, God,
legit.
absolutely.
No joke. Like he was into some freaky stuff, man. We did a story.
I think Ben Franklin was like the Rick James of his time.
No
Did you do
doubt.
some story? You were going to say you did some stories on him, Jeff?
We did a story in England where there were these hellfire caves where the Hellfire Club met, and they were doing
the Hellfire Club, yes,
stuff that like shouldn't, that would make the scandalous news today. And Ben Franklin was a known guest, and like the stuff that it was like naked orgies, like that's what was going down. And and Ben Franklin is not a sexy man if you look at any depiction of him, right? But I just picture him being like, I'm just a pimp, right?
Freak.
He's like, I'm Ben Franklin.
Though, Jeff,
Looks like a lunch lady.
It's like nude beaches and nudist resorts and things like that. It's not the supermodels or, the underwear models that are populating those things. It's the people you see sniffing the gourd in the supermarket aisle. You're like, okay,
touching the pears a little long.
It's not the Playmates. It's people that look like Ben Franklin, basically, that are going to be naked on that beach.
The Playmates are at the Playboy Mansion.
They're getting naked for rich people.
Right?
The regular nudists, they got their towel and that's it. They don't want to leave a butt mark anywhere, and it's
Playboy Mansion's haunted.
Is it? Go on.
Okay, ready for this? This is bragging. This is bragging, straight up bragging warning. Remember the show Girls Next Door on the E channel?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Listen to us. Yes. Over here. Totally. Okay.
Oh my God. They're coming back.
Quiet, gentlemen. Quiet. Ready? Here's what happened. Someone said, Jeff, did you see the Halloween episode? This was like 2006. And I went, no, I don't typically watch that show. So then I watched it. And Bridget Marcourt, one of the blondes, they're all blonde, but anyway, she's like, I really love the paranormal. I want to be a paranormal investigator. And she goes to her bookshelf and she pulls a book off the shelf right in front of the camera. And she goes, Encyclopedia of Haunted Places. That's my book. I wrote that.
Oh my God.
Me. And so I was like, oh, right. So I wait, there's more. I jump on the interweb and I'm like, I find her and I email her and I'm like, I saw you had my book. Give me your address. I'll send you all of them. I'll send you all my books. She wrote back. Ding. And I'm like, okay. And I mailed her all the books. And I said, if you ever, of course, need help investigating.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
personal tour.
Yeah,
I see that you're dating a ghost.
I'm
a skeleton.
I happen to be a renowned expert in the field.
Oh.
And anyway, we've kept in touch. She has a podcast. I was a guest on her podcast a few months ago. She was on my
awesome.
She was on my speakeasy, just like you were, Shu. You and Bridget Marcourt, except
that was my favorite show in middle school.
That's wow. Thanks.
Gross. That's really gross.
So that's my Playboy Mansion story.
That's awesome.
That's how close I got. I'm in there. Technically, I was sort of.
That's closer than like 98% of the people out there.
Yeah. Oh God.
Pretty much.
You have a book on the shelf.
That's all I got. But I was like,
the book.
Yeah. And
Now, speaking of ghosts and Christmas and like the history of Boston, wasn't Boston the first place that Charles Dickens like read or did something with the Christmas Carol, or like it was the first time?
That's right. Yeah. So Dickens, everything you know about Christmas and what it really should mean goes back to that story, goes back to A Christmas Carol, which was 1847. He published it in Europe, but it never really made it to America. Dickens loved America, called Boston his second home, but refused to come here so long as slavery was legal, because he once was served dinner. He was served dinner in Maryland by two slaves once, and he wrote that he was disgusted. He said, "I'm now I feel like a party to this," and so he refused to come back. The Civil War had just ended. It was 1867, and America was just torn apart, completely hurting. And he said, I mean, they need me, and they need my story, because this guy was a rock star, right? I mean, especially in England and in Europe." And he came to the Parker House Hotel in Boston, and he practiced reading his book over and over, and he gave a performance early December in Boston. And I mean, this is the effect this story had. 1867, he reads it in December. One of the guys in the audience owned a business, gave everyone the day off. You still had to go to work. You still had to go to school Christmas Day back in 1867. And he decided to give all his employees the day off, gave them all turkeys. And 3 years later, President U.S. Grant declared Christmas to be a federal holiday. As that story spread from Boston to New England to America.
That's cool.
And it had such an impact that it became a federal holiday. And like this Dickens vision of Christmas is actually, to me, the most perfect one, because it's scary, there's ghosts, there's stuff that haunt us, and there's the idea that we can be completely redeemed in one night if we face those fears, face those ghosts, the scary shit from our past, and you can wake up and be completely changed. Even you, Mike Shue, even you.
Now, what was the thing about the mirror? I remember you talking about there was like some like haunted mirror in Boston from Charles Dickens or something.
So that mirror is still on display on the second floor.
Oh, we're getting a visual. I feel it is coming.
Of the Omni Parker House Hotel.
Oh, no shit.
And so, yeah, there it is. That's the mirror right up. That's on the mezzanine level. And
like it's right out of the fucking Shining.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Can't see the camera, can you? Can't see, like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
whoa.
Right?
That's crazy.
Oh, my God. Where are those two little girls? Come play with us forever.
Yeah. So if there's a little
one
plaque.
of the little girls was riding the other one like a donkey.
Yes. Yeah. Woo,
what does that plaque say?
It says mirror from the room at the Parker House Hotel occupied by Charles Dickens. And if you go downstairs at the Parker House Hotel, there's his old door.
Oh my God.
There's some creep at his door.
Well, which one is it? 138 or 139?
That's right. Anyway.
What do you mean that's right? What, it had two numbers?
Well, it was a suite.
Oh, okay. All right. Jesus. Yeah. I thought there was some kind of multi-dimensional story going on there.
There's a fucking Narnia scene. You go in there and just fucking off to the Narnia.
So that's the mirror. They say you can still catch a glimpse of Charles Dickens reading A Christmas Carol in the reflection of the mirror. I stared for quite a while. I didn't see anything, but you know. But it is
did you take that picture?
No, my buddy Frank Grace, who did the calendar, Mike Shue, that you got, he took it and he photoshopped himself out. He's an amazing photographer. He's the man. So that was one of his shots. Yeah, nice. That's the haunted mirror at the Parker House Hotel.
Dude, this is awesome. This completely blows Halloween away.
Okay, wait. I got one more. How are we doing with time? Because there's one I've been saving.
Do it.
Yeah,
it's the grossest one.
Bring it on.
You saved the best for last.
All right. So, in France, there's a figure called Père Fouettard that means Father Whipper. Go ahead, make the jokes. Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
These are layups now, you guys. These are just go ahead.
Father Whipper.
Father Whipper.
Hashtag that in the post. Josh Dolan.
Yeah, there you go. So Father Whipper, the backstory though is this most gruesome of them all. There was a butcher in a little village in France, and one day he's running low on meat, and he sees 3 children playing outside. He snatches the children up, he slits their throat, and cuts them into steaks.
What the fuck?
He puts the steaks out in salt baths for sale in his butcher shop. St. Nicholas walks in because it's that close to Christmas, sees the steaks, and knows immediately that that's human. Those are children.
What the fuck does he know?
Because he's St. Nicholas. God. This is why you don't get presents, Isaiah.
Fuck. I put the tree up and everything.
It's not enough. So St. Nicholas sees the meat, and through the magic of St. Nicholas and of Christmas, he reconstitutes the children back together again. They're going to be okay. They'll need therapy the rest of their lives, but they're going to live.
They're back, but now they're pissed.
They're back. Then he looks at the butcher. St. Nicholas looks at the butcher and says, look, from now on, you will no longer be the Christmas cannibal. No more killing and eating children. From now on, you will become Father Whipper, and you will serve me, and you will beat the naughty children that I tell you to beat. And so from there on, he becomes Father Whipper. And he's also depicted in postcards around France. Beating.
Wow, nobody liked their kids back in the day, huh?
Yeah, really.
The kids. Jesus. I mean, this is full-blown torture for children, all of these stories.
Being a kid. Look at that.
And that was so long ago. He was only 35 in that picture.
Yeah, right?
Oh
that was
God.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Look at that picture on the left. That kid just looks like the kid just covering his face, like, don't hit me, daddy. He looks fucking awful.
That's what Christmas is all about right there.
You're welcome.
You can't, I think this is great. You can't even begin to talk about, you can talk about it, but imagine if this stuff was being pushed out in the world starting now, the way the world's so fucking soft, you can't even spank your kids, let alone whip the shit out of them.
Are you kidding me?
But I don't even know what group that's called, but some fuck somewhere would cancel all of it.
Look at that. It's like,
but that's why we have cancel culture, because people are offended by, I mean, if you were getting hit in the face by that whip, you wouldn't be like, that word really hurts my face. A whip hurts your face.
Listen, one time at the dinner table, I fucking said one thing wrong. I just did, and my mother cocked back.
It was one.
whap. Oh, I stopped doing that quickly. I landed my ass on the floor. And she's pick up the food and go to your room. And guess what? I think I laughed at her or something like that. She's like, really? Whack. And I was like, okay, I'm never doing that again.
It sounds like there's some kind of vegetarian conspiracy in some of these legends. The cat, or whatever the thing that was that if you wanted meat, it would kill you. And then this butcher guy who was just trying to make some steaks out of kids, and now he's got to wear foofy clothing and
you better keep your damn clothes clean, or we're gonna kill you.
These stories came from PETA.
It just seems like there's some kind of anti-meat bias.
Yeah. Hey man, don't shoot the messenger. It's just the way it came out.
I'm just saying.
No, I have no agenda. I love these old stories. But yeah, great. Man, it's I know, and there's so many more, right? There's Black Peter from the Netherlands, and that one's going away, by the way.
Go into that. That's a strong name these days.
Yeah, what
Black
is it? Why is it going? Yeah, that is a strong name.
That's why it's going away.
No. Hashtag Black Peter.
Yeah. Careful with that one.
That one away with Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, that's a Pornhub channel.
I promise you don't want to hashtag Black Peter.
Right.
This one.
Search it.
Yeah. Well,
I don't have a lot of people following me on social, so no one's going to see it. Who cares? Fuck it. I'll put it out there.
Allow me to explain, I guess. So back in the mid 1800s, Santa Claus finds this Moor child slave. He's a black kid and rescues him from slavery, and then enslaves him to Santa. You work for me. Right. So Black Peter goes around
where the elves came from.
And right. And so he's going around with Santa, but he deals with the naughty kids. Sometimes it's just like yelling at them. Sometimes it's hitting them. In the most extreme cases, Black Peter was known to literally kill the bad children. Here's the thing. In much more modern times in the Netherlands, Saint Nicholas is always depicted with Black Peter. Black Peter is always a white person dressed in blackface.
What the fuck? This is perfect.
So what happens is that now, I mean, like literally they're having protests, like, cause it's racist by any metric. It's racist.
Not at all.
Why can't he just be Peter?
Well, that's the thing. And so now like they're doing away with
black?
It. It's, well, that was the story. He was a slave. He was an enslaved kid.
Yeah.
And
so that in that case, that was the actual story, which kind of had good beginnings. Like this kid who was a slave,
right, and
gave him a job, but it was the depiction of it, and then kind of vilifying the black kid too.
Right.
But you know what? I just read about this. It was some months ago because they brought it up in the parliament in the Netherlands or something like that, and the whole right-wing faction is like, no, we got to keep Black Peter. It's a tradition. It's kind of like the similar divides in this country.
Yep.
Oh God,
whether it's a sports team name or something like that.
Do we take down Columbus or do we keep Columbus up? What do we fucking do?
It's the exact thing as that, Isaiah. It's kind of like, this is history, but at the same time, it's history that's kind of been proven to be, offensive to a certain part of the culture.
Well, that's the thing, Mike. It's not history in the Netherlands, right? Like the Civil War is history. Black Peter's a legend. It's a story. It's
a legend.
It's a tradition. And so yeah, I agree. But yeah, it's racist. And so to celebrate it year after year, it's the times have changed, and it's not. It's just It's
so you're saying I shouldn't put on blackface and say I'm Black Peter for Christmas?
Recommend it.
That's a common thing in Marblehead, but you shouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it.
There was a Black Joe here in Marblehead. Totally different story for another show.
Well, that's you can equate the whole Aunt Jemima and
boy,
who's the rice guy?
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben's
rice. So it's kind of like that, I guess you could say. It's like at that time it was not accepted, but it was
done.
Something that was prevalent.
I always thought it was like somebody's aunt that was her syrup company, and she did all that work to get on the shelves in the grocery stores. And now you're taking her off the
right. I think it's racist that you took her down, you bigot. Leave her up. She worked hard for that space.
Well, it's a similar thing. I just think that you got to really consider. It's like, and I'm not saying this isn't a pun, but it's not like a black and white story. It's not completely right, because the origins are
a gray area.
It's just turned into something that's I guess, gotten away.
Wow. And we just went down the race road hard
All right,
on the
Leonard
show.
Leonard Skinner, right? Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
They used to fly the Stars and Bars flag at their concerts. But somewhere along the way, the Confederate flag came to mean racism. And somewhere along the way, it was not that long ago. Like we're talking in the last decades.
June?
Right? Yeah. So,
well,
right?
In reality, Jeff, you could say it's always meant that. It just it hasn't really been
prevalent
to the
So what happened was Leonard Skinner, and they did this long ago. They did this years and years ago, long before all the debate. They switched to the American flag. And they said, look, we're an American band, that we stand under this flag. And they just sort of quietly did it. And it's one of those things that only when all the huff about, the Confederate flag and stuff like that started coming up, they went back to Leonard Skinner and they said, oh, Jesus, we stopped that years ago. Well, like, why alienate someone, right? Like, so, and I'm a big believer in that. And it's not about being PC. I'm of the opinion that parties are better when everyone's invited, including the GOAT.
Yeah. Even if, you know what? I don't think Leonard Skinner can call themselves an American band because I thought that was Grand Funk Railroad.
No, that's true, Josh. That's a good fact.
Yeah, my fault.
That was
I'm not the
awful.
music guy. You guys are.
Awful.
Wow,
that was
Josh
awful.
With a classic rock fact check.
He had to Google that.
No, his Aunt D he was raised by his Aunt D.
No, that was my mom. I've seen Mark Fonda 3 times.
Sandy. Yes, sir.
Well, Jeff, this has been awesome.
You're awesome, man. Thank you for coming back on.
Further, just get some more. Like you have your podcast, New England Legends podcast, right? And where else can they go?
So we actually have a creepy Christmas special on Amazon Prime. It's called New England Legends Creepy Christmas. Some of this stuff is covered, and I've got I don't know when your podcast comes out, but around December I tend to do these programs, usually at libraries and stuff in front of live audiences. This year it's been all Zoom. I still have a couple. I have a couple left this week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know when you're coming out, but might be too late. But
We'll drop this on Thursday usually.
Yes.
Perfect. Then you missed it. It's totally good. But I do your own research, right? Like go dive in and watch these movies and watch Scrooge and watch like all this stuff. Like it's coming back. And the Krampus movie, by the way, the 2015 Krampus movie, like I loved it. I loved that movie because I feel like they nailed the character. I mean, sure, it was cheesy and it's like a horror movie. It had its moments, but like overall, that was the spirit of Krampus. He was there to scare you, but there to save you from yourselves.
That's awesome. I'm all in with Krampus 2021.
Right? Yeah. And before we go, I do have a question. Do you know if like the character Santa Claus or Saint Nicholas has like a home country? Like, is he like specifically from like Germany or like Holland? Turkey.
He was born in Turkey. He was born. It was called the land of Myra back then. Nicholas was Nicholas of Myra. Dark skinned, by the way, too. Like that's what his skin would have been.
And then we made him from Los Angeles too, just like Jesus. I mean,
not a chance. He was lily white from where he was from. So
they're both Los Angeles Republicans.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I remember hearing, I forget where I heard it. I don't know if you heard this too, that the name Santa Claus came from Saint Nicholas, and that like kids in like the Netherlands were asking kids from other countries like, hey, where'd you get all these toys? And their accent was saying Saint Nicholas, but they were saying Saint Nicholas.
So close.
It sounded like Santa Claus.
Yeah. So the Dutch, it was Sinterklaas, and Sinterklaas, they came to America, and Sinterklaas became Americanized to Santa Claus.
Like Belanger.
Right. And we're back.
How do we get to Belanger? It all goes back to Jeff Belanger. Belanger.
Yes. Jeff Belanger.
Belanger.
He's a great fourth line winger.
Became.
Oh my God. Played for the Canucks.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Well, Jeff, thanks a lot, man. We
thank you.
Coming
thank you guys.
Good seeing the shit out of us for Christmas, and we hope you have a good Christmas and you live through the winter.
Yes. You too. Hope you all survive. And if you need shelter, Mike, I got a garage. It's all yours.
That's awesome because
we got a guy that makes garage doors, Chris at Garage Doors Plus. Perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah,
all ties in.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, guys.
That's great.
That was good.
That's definitely better than Halloween. Halloween.